From the outside, Emma's life looked perfect. She had the career, the apartment, and the plans.
Her calendar was always full, a constant stream of notifications that never seemed to end. But somewhere between the meetings and the deadlines, she realized she had lost herself.
She couldn't remember the last time she had simply stopped to breathe the fresh air.
So one morning, without a complicated plan or a final destination, she simply decided to leave. The city sounds began to disappear, replaced by the rhythmic hum of tires on the open road.
She didn't know exactly where she was going, only that she needed to find the silence. The farther she drove, the less familiar the world became, and the more she felt alive.
The buildings disappeared first, then the traffic, and eventually, the very idea of a schedule vanished.
For the first time in years, she didn't miss the constant connection to the digital world. Silence wasn't something she was trying to escape anymore. It was a gift she was seeking.
She followed the curve of the mountains, letting the natural rhythm of the land guide her journey. The air grew colder, smelling of pine needles and damp earth, pulling her deeper into nature.
There was one final turn, a hidden path she almost drove past in the fading light.
The road entered a place where time seemed to slow, down to the heartbeat of the forest.
And then she saw it. Something that didn't look like it belonged, yet felt perfectly placed.
Hidden deep within the forest was a house designed to make the outside world feel far.
Emma had seen many beautiful houses, but none that seemed to vanish so elegantly into nature. She stood in the silence, listening to the mountains for the very first time in her life. Every detail of the house spoke of intention, of a desire to connect rather than compete. The wood was warm to the touch, carrying the scent of cedar and the mountain sun.
Inside, everything changed. The cold mountain air was replaced by the inviting warmth of the timber. Every window framed a different piece of the wilderness, making the forest feel like part of the furniture. It was luxurious, but never excessive. A sanctuary built for reflection, not for show or noise. She understood immediately that the best room in this house was the view itself.
Natural stone, warm wood, and black steel. The house felt as old as the mountains around it.
She wasn't a guest here, she was finally home, even if she didn't know it yet.
The simple act of drinking water felt different here, as if the mountain itself were nourishing her.
The house wasn't designed to compete with the peaks. It was designed to let them in. But the retreat had a secret heart, a garden tucked between the rocks and the trees. It was small enough to care for, but large enough to feed a wandering soul. She touched the herbs, the smell of fresh rosemary filling the crisp mountain air around her. Dinner didn't begin with an app or a delivery person. It began with the soil. There was a deep satisfaction in harvesting what the earth had so quietly and patiently grown. The garden was a bridge back to a life she had forgotten and she even wanted.
She had spent years ordering everything at a touch, but this felt so much richer. The process was slower, but the time spent was no longer something she felt wasting. Every slice, every stir, every scent became a meditation on the present moment in time.
The steam rose like the mountain mist, a small ritual of comfort in her new home. She wasn't checking her phone or her emails. She was simply eating dinner with the mountains. The gentle clink of silverware.
And for once, the silence of the room was more than enough to fill her heart. Then, the mountains changed their mood, and the golden light was swallowed by the approaching clouds.
In the city, rain meant traffic. Here, it simply meant it was time to stay home.
The forest drank deeply, the smell of wet earth and cedar becoming heavy in the air.
She watched the world turn gray and blue, finding a strange peace in the mountain storm. She lit the fire, the first sparks catching on the dry cedar with a sharp pop.
The storm could do whatever it wanted outside. Inside, she was finally safe and warm. She realized that the quiet wasn't empty. It was full of things she'd forgotten to notice.
Later that night, the rain disappeared, leaving the forest dripping and silent under the stars. The house was a tiny island of light in a vast sea of mountain shadows. She had forgotten that the night sky could look so deep, so full, and so infinite. For the first time in her life, the silence didn't feel lonely at all. Morning arrived not with an alarm, but with the first blue light of the dawn. The air was cold, the coffee was warm, and the day held no expectations. She watched the sun find the peaks, turning the white snow into a brilliant gold. She followed the sound of water, curious to see where the mountain stream began. In the city, she missed the small things. Here, they were the only things. The water was cold and clear, a reminder that some things remain unchanged by time. She realized she wasn't searching for a better life, just a much quieter one. She realized she wasn't searching for a better life, just a much quieter one. Maybe this was what she had been missing. Not more success, just more time. Time to hear the rain, time to walk without a clock, and time to think. She had finally found the one thing the city could never offer her: herself. Tomorrow, the world would still be there, but Emma was no longer the same. She came here to escape her life, but she ended up discovering it instead. The noise was gone, replaced by a clarity she hadn't felt in many years. Sometimes the greatest luxury isn't owning more, it's needing less to be happy. She didn't need a different life. She simply needed to slow this one down. And in the silence of the mountains, she finally found her way home. Because sometimes, the most important journey is the one that leads you inward.
The mountain retreat stood silent, a witness to her quiet and beautiful transformation.
She had learned that growth takes time, and peace requires a place to breathe.
She was ready to return, but she would never leave this feeling behind. Mountain retreat, a quieter way to live, a way to find your peace again.